Hi, I'm Heather, and for the discussion this evening, I would like to talk about, for chapter 6, I would like to discuss question 3, which is analyzing the text advice and the negative aspects for their advice too, as far as communicating with your boss. So on page 128, it says, I've never actually used this word before, ingratiation, I think. And that's when an employee acts warm and friendly with their boss. A negative aspect of that is that other people can see you as kind of a suck up to the boss. And kind of, I feel like it kind of can look a little opportunistic as well. Your boss might see that as really good, probably because they don't really see, how you're interacting normally with other people. Like, we all have a customer service voice. I think a lot of us have a boss voice and how we communicate with them. And so yeah, your coworkers might see you as disingenuine. Advocacy is the preferred method, as the text explains on 128, because you evaluate your boss's personal needs, what they might need at the time. It's awesome because it looks like you're intuitive and your work ethic is good and you're a great type of employee if you're handling stuff like that. But a con is that you don't want to run yourself ragged by doing that and not be able to communicate your needs just because it might upset your boss. And the tips that I have for number 3 and for communicating with your boss is just to be yourself, because eventually they do see it, and then it sets you up for just a better relationship with them. Like, as long as you're there to work and get stuff done and handle things, then they will eventually see that. I also did number 4, and that would be, we'll move to page 133, where it talks about having a clear understanding of the line between personal and professional communication, interactions, all of those things. So I think the question is saying to what I think that they should add to the text to enhance the section. And I think that maybe it would be, they did a pretty good job at covering everything, because I went back through and it was hard for me to think of too many other things other than a few specifics. And I think that they could have gone in more to how employees come in and they air, their health issues, the problems that they had in traffic. A lot of people are really negative too, and that sets a really weird standard. I don't like working around negative people, and it's just like when it kind of come to expect it, it changes your relationship with them. So just maybe not communicating those things would probably be better. And then also, I think that something that they missed out on was talking about how employees, it doesn't have to be a coworker to coworker sort of romantic relationship when they're talking about romance in the work environment. I had a coworker and her husband, they were going through a divorce, and she would lie to him and he would call the work phone and ask if she was there, and it was just wild. So that was not professional, I will say that. So we'll go into chapter 7 and talking about question 2, which is, what roles are you most likely to assume in a professional work group? In a work group, I'm a supporter. Yesterday on Slack, which is our communication platform that we use for my studio, we had all these announcements, and I commented, I'm like, go team! So when I was reading or doing my RP, I was like thinking about that and how much of a supporter I am. And then we got to talking about how you act out in a group, and I legitimately said go team in my English group this weekend. So I'm definitely a supporter. Also, though, I am a summarizer and evaluator, and but the text states on page 157 that it means you're restating the ideas and describing relationship details, agreements, and differences. And I like to kind of put the finishing touches on projects too, and make sure everybody's on the same page and everything has, a good amount of clarification, because I think it's because I'm a little bit of a control freak, and I also just feel more confident when everybody is able to say what they need and we get that out of the way. And then Number 3, explaining and critiquing conflict as it's discussed in the text. So I think that what I quoted from the text was from page 163, and that was that conflict, as we discussed later in the chapter, but I guess I didn't need to tell you guys that, but is valuable. It's a needed resource for innovative problem solving and team building. I absolutely agree. We were trained to think of conflict as a negative thing, and it's not. It really does help produce innovation and different ideas, and allowing people, when you open up that window of people to be able to talk when somebody else says something that they don't like, I feel like, you usually have another person that who would have normally been scared to say something. They'll say it after them or say something that they aren't too happy with, and then it really opens up a nice dialogue for things like that. I mean, if it's in a healthy way, in a positive way. And so, yeah, if it's productive conflict, it would prevent groupthink, which is nobody saying anything and just carrying along with the meeting and agreeing to everything. And then the byproduct of that would be meeting think. And then also the negative thing about handling conflict is obviously people can be resentful if it doesn't go well. Other people can gloat if it goes well for them, which is kind of annoying to everyone else, I think. And then, just saying that a compromise is a lose-lose approach to decision-making. I love that. I feel like it's something we can utilize in our relationships as well as a professional workplace. And then, because it insinuates that the parties or individuals involved in the discussion are all willing to give something up to attain something that they want. So the options become quite narrow. That was all from page 163, and that is my module 6 discussion.